the cool part about this is that the APU in real life on any plane is pretty much the same, and it sounds just like this. It's like a little motor to start the motors,
Right.
and they even have it. It goes up to a certain point, and then you'll hear it kick up.
Okay.
I think it already kicked up, but it does that in real life. Everything about this game is just as real gets. Even the computer here. Check this out. It's doing a bit test. It actually does like post, like you can see it go through the bit test.
Oh, wow.
It's like the computer is fully functional. Every piece of the manual for the computer is this thick. The manual for this sim is like
probably the same, like
800 pages.
Wow.
It's because everything works. I mean, look, all the circuit breakers down here, they all, everything works.
What's it called?
DSCN0296. It's a company called DSCN0296. Tricky thing is holding your head still so you can hit all the buttons. The guys from GameSpot, I think, sat around for an hour reviewing this game. It's like 4 guys just sitting around drinking beer, and they're like, "This is the most complicated thing we've ever seen." After an hour, they still hadn't even turned the plane on.
Yeah, it's really not a game.
It's not.
Yeah,
at all.
it's just a live sim actually.
Yeah, all the radios work, and there's mods so that there's just all kinds of stuff you can do with this. Bit test done.
So this plane flies a single crew, right? Or there's 2 of them?
Yeah, it's just one person. They made a 2-seater.
Okay.
And gave up on it fast, just because it worked for them. But yeah, I mean, really, it literally takes 10 minutes to start this goddamn thing. And half of that is because of this computer over here. You gotta wait for it to, it's doing GPS alignment. So, it takes forever.
Okay, there goes your cockpit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta get these virtual glasses. They look super nice on. So I think they made over $1 million on them.
Damn. So yeah, everything over here, like all of that, is over here, which is kind of handy, but then again, it's not kind of handy. The only thing that I really like about this is that if I click up here, it brings up all the airfields, so I know like what runway to land at. I know the tower frequencies, the TACAN, the ILS, all that stuff you use to land and find airports.
Give her bomb friendlies.
No. me and this other guy, we like to mess with each other, and the other day he shot me out of the sky because it carries if you look out here, it carries 2 sidewinders as a typical load. There's really nothing you can put on that rack that's useful. So anyway, he shot me, and so a few days later we're screwing around, and he knew I didn't take these. I put a bomb or something over there, so he knew I didn't have them, and I knew he was going to try to get me. But Mavs, it's really tricky. But Mavs have like an optical head in them, and he thought that I didn't have any missiles, but I came up behind him and I shot him with a Mav. He was like, "What the hell was that? What did you shoot me with?" Like, yeah, it's a pain. like there is no T for target. You have to use your targeting pod for everything, and
We have to do the real thing.
yeah, it's just like the real thing. You got
Can
everything.
you save your position?
Can I say
Just save it off now, come back to where you started?
no,
No pause.
no.
You know what would be cool for this would be gloves, which you could use as if you're actually touching those buttons.
Well, what people usually do with this is they buy a touch
Touch screen.
and then they do it. But you know,
No, but I thought if
honestly,
you had real gloves on, which are kind of haptic, then you're actually going there and flipping those, which is sort of.
so
Take a video.
yeah, and then so there's like all this shit you've got to do before you can even get in here. I don't want to bore you guys to death.
No, this is fascinating.
All right, so you want me to take off and
Yeah, I'd love
do
to.
it? All
Yeah.
right, let me just make some settings changes. The Mavs have to heat up. It takes 4 minutes for them to heat up, and then
Oh.
after, if you leave them heated up for too long, you kill them, which isn't any fun. What do I got? I got some Mavs. I can shoot some Mavs off. Alright. Alright. Let's go kill some.
Let's go kill some.
Everything started. I got that right. That. That's all good. It keeps off. That's done.
So do you also have some kind of an online checklist that comes on when you're still learning the game or something like that?
Yeah.
Or you have to read the manual?
Yeah. Should always cheat a little bit. Find the closest end of the runway.
Does it make you sick, Bill?
Does it make no, not at all. I mean, if you're in it, it makes sense because you're moving your head and you're like, okay, what's over there? And the ATC works, so of course I'm ignoring it, but if I were tuned to that channel, they'd be yelling at me because I haven't asked to taxi yet.
Permission to tackle?
Yeah. Now, in the wing, there's all the regular military kind of chatter that you have to know. Like, you can't just join the wing. You have to do 3 lift flights, and then you get your check ride, just like in real life.
Good to go?
Yep.
This is friggin' awesome. What's that? Stall warning?
No, it's just I'm throwing the gear up and it lets you know that something's going on with your landing gear. So what do you want to shoot? There's some stuff
Not
back
friendly.
there. Alright, so now we gotta go to Mr. Targeting Pod. And you have to designate your target. So up here I've got like this tadpole thing with a little square in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little mouse thing over here on there, so you can see me moving the square around.
Yes.
So come back around. This thing is the slowest plane ever. It's constantly stalling. Alright, so now that I see it, I'll put my square just any old place, and I got a thumb up over here to designate a speed, is what they call it. So now I've got like this tadpole down there.
Yeah.
Now I have to slew my targeting pod to my speed. So now I can move my targeting pod around and designate a target. So let's blow up this truck. So I just hold that up, and it makes that my new speed instead of the old boxy speed. Now I'm going to have like a diamond speed, the diamond indicating that it's the targeting pod. So then I go over to my navs, and they've heated up, but my master arm is off. So now I'm guns hot, and then I just have to make sure that I'm not frickin' on top of these guys. I gotta fly out a little bit, and come back around, and slew this to the targeting pod. So I'll make that. You see how there's a box? It's my center of interest or point of interest.
Yeah.
That's how it's all. There's like a million buttons up here. But about 6 miles out. The range of the Mavericks is around 2 to 9 miles, which is kind of tricky when you're trying to shoot in SAMs, because SAMs have a much better range.
So that's too close.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. I'm constantly getting shot down. So you can see right here, it's telling me kind of with that little tadpole which way to go. So now I'm kind of lined up. I'm going to put on autopilot just so I fly level. And then I got to slew him to that.
To the target.
Yeah. And it's all infrared. So or not infrared, but it looks for, I think it's infrared.
FLIR.
Yeah, but you see how it just locked on?
Yep.
It's not real. Oh shit. I want to shoot these.
Warning, autopilot.
Amy just saw a bullhorn bike.
You did?
Amy.
Oh,
In
Amy.
DC.
There we go. Now I can level out. And
Off it goes.
Oh, yeah.
so that, I mean, obviously is kind of pain to target anything, because you've got to, now that I've got that speed, you know, if I go somewhere else, I've got to get rid of all my speeds and start all over again. But Yeah, it's just like, it's...
Wow, you could never get tired of doing it.
No, and you're flying with like 6 other guys on some crazy targets. It gets really, really nutty. And mountain fighting, like trying to fight in a canyon with guys that can shoot back. You know, nothing here is shooting at me. This is easy. Once stuff starts shooting.